well on a first pitch clobbered by Goldschmidt to make it 1-0. First pitch, 637. First run, 637.
That ball was absolutely belted. 110 off the bat, 402 feet. And boy, you talk about a hot hitter in Paul Goldschmidt.
That's the major league leader with 16 home runs. Is in an 0-2 hole. And he grounds the ball to the left side. Cut off by Kobe Mayo from third. He throws out Judge on the run.
At 4-game series, 5 for 10, a couple of home runs, a home run last night in game 1 of this series, and another bullet off the bat.
He can absolutely sizzle the ball. A left-on-left changeup. Rosario muscles one to the field pretty deep. Sends Ward back out there in front of the warning track. He'll put him away.
High percentage of fastballs, KB. Between the 2 and the 4-seam fastball, he's going to throw 67% heaters.
And Gunnar Henderson jumps on his first one. Everybody's swinging early tonight. He's 0 for 11 on the homestand with 6 walks. And he takes strike 3 here. A fastball right down the heart, knee high. And he'll strike out here. Rogers pumps it in.
I think they say that's 95 right there. Probably even a little bit better defensively at shortstop than what Caballero is.
Couple of 95s there. Rogers with an impressive 1-2-3 second. How about to left field? This ball slicing away from Bellinger, and that will land fair on the chalk and bounce up into the netting. Will you take an extra base hit?
That's a good start. That's a really good start.
Swing and a miss, and a fastball, and Warren has another strikeout on a heater. He's got a 2-0 count. He gets a breaking ball, and he skies it into shallow center field. Grisham jogs in to make the catch, and that'll end the inning. Sayo stranded in scoring position in the second. Well, shoots one to right. How about that? It was a rare hit against the lefty for him, and a hit. Ninth pitch to the 34-year-old Aaron Judge. Wells at first. Tried to shove it inside there. And ball 4. And a 3-1 is wide to load him. He squares up one ball after another. Can Rogers get the best of him, though? Ground ball up the middle. Henderson races to second. Throws to first. It's not going to be in time. And it's an RBI fielder's choice for Cody Bellinger. These are the situations where you had no chance against Trevor Rogers last year. He's been hurt this season. Down to third. That's a fair ball. Mayo from foul ground. Safe at first. He pulled Alonso off the bag. And Judge scores to make it 3-0. Remember, his last start against Boston had a 47-pitch second. He never got out of. Fly ball right center from Grisham. Kauser racing back there. It is gone. A 3-run dagger. Another 2-out, 2-strike hit allowed by Rogers, who just cannot wriggle himself out of a jam this season in the way he did last year as the most valuable Oriole.
Hit the ball out of the ballpark. Yankees came in with 64 home runs on the year. Atlanta was second with 57.
Mayo has.
There is a lot of potential there. He just got to figure out a way to unlock it more consistently.
That's a great take.
Good evening and welcome to another installment of the New York Minute Sports Show. It's a live edition and the Yankees win 6-2. Welcome to another installment of the New York Minute Sports Show. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. The Yankees are back to their winning waves, folks, but I would say don't get too excited because things are about to get really thick tomorrow night because you know who's coming back. The prodigal son returns, none other than Anthony Volpe, eh? Yeah. So we're still doing this. Now that Caballero goes down with a middle finger fracture, he's going to be on the injured list for 10 days, okay? So we have Caballero down for 10 days, and Aaron Baboon Bubbles Buffoon, wow, came out today and said that even when, if Anthony Volpe does well and Caballero comes back, Caballero will still have the starting position from Anthony Volpe, no matter how well he does. I would like to see it if Anthony Volpe comes back and tears the cover off the ball, which I don't think that he will at all, is the fact that Anthony Volpe is going to be lucky if he doesn't implode in front of our eyes. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but legitimately, in every AAA game, he has been blowing it. Ground balls through the legs, messing up on the base pads, and just bonehead plays. We got to talk about Anthony Volpe because if Anthony Volpe grew up in Iowa, the Yankees would have moved on from him a long time ago. And what I mean by that is they're in love with the story. What is better than an Italian kid from New Jersey growing up a lifetime New York Yankee fan and finally growing up and putting on the pinstripes? In his first year, he seemed like he was going to be a great Yankee for a long time. But you know what? Ever since he won that Gold Glove, it really seems like he has gotten worse every single year. Also, something that isn't in Anthony Volpe's defense is that the fact that Brian Cashman is a used car salesman. And what I mean by that is that Brian Cashman likes to build players up. The Martian, the left-handed Aaron Judge. If anything, Jason Dominguez looks very terrestrial. He looks like he's from this planet. He doesn't look like anything that we've never seen before. We've seen a lot of Juan Sotos. But what Brian Cashman does is juice these guys up so he can trade them at the trade deadline. But what happens when guys like Anthony Volpe and Austin Wells, who they cooked up to be these great future stars of the Yankees so they could trade them and bamboozle other teams into giving us their good players? This is what happens when you are stuck with the players in your farm system that you blew smoke up everybody's ass in Major League Baseball about. First, Anthony Volpe. We were told Derek Jeter baseball IQ. Better defensive shortstop than Derek Jeter. Hits for 300 average, can steal 35 bags when given the chance. And what did we get? We got Anthony Volpe, who hits 20 doubles, steals 20 bags, and makes bonehead play after bonehead play. Am I happy with the way that the Yankees handled Anthony Volpe? Absolutely not. And in Anthony Volpe's defense, he was brought up with Austin Wells a year ahead of schedule. Anthony Volpe and Austin Wells should have been down in spring training developing a long time ago. Now, you have two players that are offensively on the back of a milk carton and have not progressed since their rookie year. Now Anthony Volpe comes back, and I've heard the sports talk on the radio, and people are saying, oh, the pressure's not that much on Anthony Volpe. Oh, yeah? You wait. If Anthony Volpe plays tomorrow night, there's going to be pressure on him, and it's going to be self-imposed. The fans aren't even going to have to get on Anthony Volpe's case, and I know that they're away in Baltimore, but usually they're like home games for Yankee fans. But Anthony Volpe has to come back up to this team, and he needs to start producing immediately. I wonder if this is the last chance saloon for Anthony Volpe's career as far as the Yankees are concerned. I am very, very happy to see that Aaron Boone said that when Anthony Volpe, even though he's being brought up, when Caballero comes back, he is the starting shortstop. And that's the kind of player that we need. He hits 247. He's a spark plug. That's the kind of guy we need. And also, he has a cannon at shortstop, and I think that's the reason that they're putting Caballero on the 10-day shelf, is because the fact that he probably can't throw with the hand. He might not be able to grip a bat, but it couldn't have been that severe if they let him pinch run last night and he was sliding. So Volpe returns, and now we got to talk about Austin Wells. The Yankees have had zero production from the catching position for about 2 years now. I was talking to a friend on the phone today, and I go, remember the days of Russell Martin and Francisco Cervelli? And I remember talking to Yankee fans at the time when those guys were the catchers for our team, and they would go, man, we really need to upgrade that catching position. Francisco Cervelli and Russell Martin are 2 times better than Austin Wells and Escara. Now, I'm willing to give Escara a little bit more of a leash, strictly on the fact that he doesn't play consistently enough to get reps to see where he is with that batting average. Austin Wells, on the other hand, has been given chance after chance after chance. We don't need another defensive catcher. We need offensive production from the catching position, and we've known this for 2 years. In fact, we gave up all of our catchers and trades for pitchers and arms in this bullpen that we got now that's horse shit. And every time we go and play the Marlins, they got their, I think it's either Sanchez or Suarez, the catcher that we gave up for him, who's playing lights out. We just faced Gary Sanchez against the Milwaukee Brewers, who's 111, and he has a better home run, RBI, and average than both of our catchers. So, yeah, the Yankees win 6-2 tonight. Paul Goldschmidt looks great. I'd like to talk about him for a second. Paul Goldschmidt, everybody was kind of getting on the Yankees' case about, oh, man, look at this. We're bringing Paul Goldschmidt back. This is the perfect scenario for Paul Goldschmidt. What happened to him last year? Paul Goldschmidt was lights out for the first 2 months of the season, and then he fell off a cliff. He's got a lot of mileage. He's like a 2020 Honda with about 100,000 miles on it, okay? He's up there. But he's still fast. He's still got a good glove at first base, and he can still hit leadoff for this team, and he started the game with a home run today. That's when he can be effective. When you have a guy like Ben Rice, who's playing first base, and he's iffy defensively at first base, it will come with time, and you know that he'll work on it. His work ethic is excellent. But right now, Ben Rice has a guy like Paul Goldschmidt to be a mentor to him, to show him a little bit of tricks of the trade from the first base side, and also when they want to give Ben a rest, which they do too much in my consideration. But Paul Goldschmidt can play. But he can only play occasionally. This is only going to work if he actually gets rest in between playing. Now, with all the injuries starting to pile up on the New York Yankees, Giancarlo Stanton, Jason Dominguez, Caballero, they are getting thin at the infield position. Now, I was thinking to myself, where is Oswaldo Cabrera? If you were to ask me, I would have brought up Oswaldo Cabrera before I bring up Anthony Volpe. Cabrera's hitting like 349 in the last 11 games down in AAA. He's hitting the cover off the ball. Oswaldo Cabrera, before he got hurt last year, before he fractured his ankle, which is a tough injury to come back, and he's already playing ahead of schedule, he deserves it. Anthony Volpe played himself out of a position last year. And it wasn't because of injury, man. I know they treated him like a rented mule. They played him every single day, and that's bad. That's bad on the Yankees. But Anthony Volpe has done zero from the shortstop position. So if you think in reality, this is the Yankees in a hole. Third base, zero production. Catcher position, zero production. Now that Caballero's out, the shortstop position, now that's going to be zero. Jazz Chisholm, zero from that position at the second base position. Long are the days that I yearn for Gleyber Torres. he was a knucklehead, but he was our knucklehead, and I would rather have him over Jazz Chisholm right now. The Yankees also have 5 players hitting underneath 215. Don't let tonight's victory fool you. A mop and a bucket could beat the Baltimore Orioles with their pitching. It's been the same MO forever. That's why last night's game hurt so much, is because the Yankees, after they sweep the Baltimore Orioles for 4 straight games, they come in after getting swept by the Brewers, and they lay this egg last night, and everything's questionable. Also, another thing that drives me absolutely batshit crazy is that Aaron Baboon, Bubbles, Buffoon, wow! Our starters need to go longer because Aaron Boone has to use 5 guys in the bullpen. Aaron Boone has to get into his bullpen. Look at tonight. I know that Warren went 96 pitches. We had that Rosario was asleep at second base. I don't know what that was. And also the guy at shortstop. I don't learn guys' name until they're on the team for 2 weeks. Like I learned Gittrick's name. I'm already regretting that. So the shortstop looks like he has 2 spackle buckets on his feet at shortstop. And Rosario was taking a quick hit out of his Benjamin Franklin. And there's Austin Wells hitting tonight. But Austin Wells as a whole, not getting it done. Anthony Volpe as a whole in his career since the first year as a Yankee, not getting it done. McMahon has been hot lately. Let's see if he can continue that. Also, Trent Grisham, before the home run tonight, he has been lackluster. And also, thank God Trent Grisham is not in the leadoff spot tonight, bro. He was hitting in the 6th spot. See what happens when you listen to Uncle Eric right here on New York Minute Sports. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. So the Jankos got problems. They got injuries. They got problems. They got a primate for a manager who likes to play around with the bullpen like Army guys in the backyard when he was young. Another thing that drove me nuts today, I was going through the numbers about Trent Grisham as he hits a home run tonight. 0 for 16. 0 for 16 in front of Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge has 16 home runs. Trent Grisham has been on base for 0 of them. Side note to all the people that have been paying attention to the drama for your mama with me and Michael K. I was on hold to call him today, and I had to hang up because I had to go do something. He unblocked me, 1, and 2, I had to go do something. Thank God. Every time I call this guy up, Trent Grisham hits a 3-run home run. But I will be calling up Michael K., and I will be letting you know. But I would like to get to some of the comments. I don't really see them when I'm talking on the show, when I bust over there. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about Anthony Volpe coming back, guys. Let me know what you think about Caballero's injury. Let me know what you think about Aaron Baboon, Bubbles, Buffoon, wow! And what you think about the Yankees snapping the 4-game skid. Yo, what's up, guys? What's going on? Good to see you as also Chef Nick. What's going on, brother? Jose was watching recent Volpe plays. My God. Damn, Volpe would love never to see him in a Yankees uniform ever again. That brings me up to the other point I wanted to say. Remember earlier in the week, everybody was saying, oh, man, look at the Yankees making the right decisions about keeping Volpe down, and they're finally making baseball decisions, guys. They're finally making baseball decisions. Look at that. They're finally a heads up. Nah. They brought Anthony Volpe down there for so long to extend his contract to 2029, and it officially hit. So if you're tired of seeing Anthony Volpe in pinstripes, buckle up, Buttercup, because you're going to get a healthy dose of Anthony Volpe, and I've been saying this, is that don't be surprised if Anthony Volpe starts getting reps at second base in AAA, because if Jazz Chisholm's on this trajectory, he's looking for $300 million, and he can go take a long walk off a short pier if he thinks he's going to get that money from the Yankees. Even if he did have a great year, the Yankees, I don't think we're going to re-sign him. I think that it's run its course with Jazz Chisholm. So think about this as an infield. You could have Volpe at second base. You could have Caballero at shortstop, and maybe even next year, Lombard Jr. to round it out at third base because McMahon and Rosario will be both off of this squad. Speaking of moves and speaking of trades, and, people are already starting to get into that about other teams that are available for people that they're going to start trading because now the San Francisco Giants have started the domino to fall because they just traded their catcher. Now, I'm going to say be careful about this one because the trade deadline is probably going to be the thinnest we've seen in a very long time. Look at the standings in Major League Baseball, guys. Everybody's in it. If you're in the American League Central, you could be 4 games underneath 500 and you're 2 games out of first place. So in the American League, no one's really going to be out of it. And then the teams that you can get players from who are like out of it are the Rockies, who we pillaged them last year, and I'm not too crazy about the guys that we got back. We have McMahon, Jake Bird. Jake Bird's been good. I hate on him a little bit too much, but he's been good. But my point is that the American League, the parity or how much it sucks, whichever side of the coin you want to pick, there's not going to be a lot of teams selling because everyone's going to be able to make the playoffs. The National League is the league that you're going to be looking for to make trades with, and the Mets and the Rockies, and the Mets already have all of our former players. So maybe some Mets and Yankees reunions, Luke Weaver, Clay Holmes would be a great acquisition from the Mets because he's the only one that's actually been pitching for them. And we know that if he was a middle relief guy and you were to bring him down in the bullpen, Clay Holmes can eat up 2 innings. They got to start incorporating Yarborough a little bit more, man. I liked in the beginning of the year they were letting guys get 2-inning saves. Let a guy like Yarborough go in there after a middle relief because they're not getting enough length, man. These guys got to start going 7. If you have a shitty bullpen and you have a manager that mishandles them, the starters need to go longer. Aaron Boone loves to jump in and get these starters out of the game early so he can dive into that bullpen. And listen, man, as John Sterling would always say, it's the search for who doesn't have it tonight, Susan, in the bullpen. 5 guys, 6 humans pitched in this game for the Yankees when they shouldn't have to. Max 3 guys. Let's come on. Get in, get out. If Warren goes into the 6th inning, put in Yarborough. He can get two innings. Then you put in Bednar and let him close the shit out. But it seems like the Yankees in these like walk-away games, it's 6-2 against the Orioles down in Baltimore. We're going to win this one. You use a bunch of guys. You don't have to use that many bullpen arms. You don't have to tax the bullpen so early because, like I've said before, the answers for the bullpen are going to have to come in from inside the house for the Yankees this season. It's going to have to come from the farm system. They do have 2 or 3 guys that they can bring up, and hopefully these guys are the goods. You know what? Totally cool, yeah. Grish trade value. It has improved, but he's not going anywhere. Grish and some other peeps for Trout. You know what's so funny, though? The rumor is if Trout was to leave the Anaheim Angels, you know where he's going? He's going to the Philadelphia Phillies. He grew up a Phillies fan. He's an Eagles fan, loves the area. Apparently, that's what his dream is. So, listen, I wanted to get on here tonight. I wanted to do a live broadcast. I'm going to start doing a little bit more of the live broadcast. I'm also going to start doing live broadcasts for the members only here at New York Minute Sports. That's right. You can join the members only. It's $1.99 a month. I know it says $2.99 on there, but YouTube has to tack on an extra $1. And when you sign up, I put it for $1.99, and they told me it was $2.99. So my bad on that. But with the membership, you guys are going to have interactive live. I'm going to work on a call-in show where people can have video and they can call in with their phones. Also, going to have some extracurricular videos on here where we're going to be reviewing movies. We're going to have a bunch of content on here for you guys. The New York Minute Sports Show is going to be expanding a little bit to a little bit more sports, to a little more stuff. Let me know what you guys want covered. It's only $1.99 a month. You're going to get a lot of content, and you're going to get the New York Minute Sports Show every night here on New York Minute Sports. It's New York Sports for New York Nuts. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe and visit the New York Nuts merch store. That's that beautiful blue link. You can check out all the T-shirts that we show during the show, all made in the USA, just like me. And remember, if you can't be good, be bad, baby. Good night, Canada. Oh, the game's at 1:05 tomorrow. Game's at 1:05 tomorrow. Game is at 1:05 tomorrow. They switched it because of the weather. Do not miss it. I would actually just like to do this because I went on here tonight because by the time I post this, it's going to be like midnight. And then the game starts at 1 o'clock. So there's going to be 6 minutes for you to watch my post-game show. So I want to get on here live. Game's at 1:05 tomorrow. Good night, Canada. Bye.